Sahana bhavatu, Sahano punaktu, Sahavidyankaravavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. Question from Minu. In the last class, it was explained that the source of desires is gunas. So, does it mean that transcending gunas means self-realization or vasana lessons? Yes. Transcending the gunas means self-realization. The source says this. From the gunas, you are getting this Janma. Then we are explaining what is the meaning of it. From where you get this, arising from the body, Deha Samudbhava. This Udbhava, the source for Deha. What is the source for this body? From where this body has come into picture. So when we say gunas in this context, it means the quality of your desires, quality of your vasanas. So anytime we use the word desire, vasana, understood this quality. Right? Any object. Quality is included in that. Cloth. Quality is included in that. You see, silky one or it is a rough one or plain paper, quality is there. Any paper you take, there is a quality to it. So quality is always understood. So in the context of the discussion with reference to the gunas, he is using the word guna to refer desires and vasanas. So that's why he uses this term, Deha Samudbhava. So this source, the origin, from where it is beginning, arising from where. Now we have got this body. From where we got this body? Science will tell us what? Sperm and egg met. And that meeting multiplied, body. So the source of the body is what? Sperm and egg. Where was I then? In sperm or in egg? 50% in sperm, 50% in egg. Jarasandha only was born like that. Half. 50% of you was with your father, 50% of you were with your mother. Okay. Then where was father's body? 50% with grandfather, 50% with great-grandfather. So where was I at that time? So 25% in my grandfather, 25% in my grandmother. That 25 and 25 mixed together created my father, which is 50%. Okay. Where was my my grandfather's body, grandmother's body, created from great grandfather, great grandmother, great grandfather, great grandmother. 25 divided by 4 now. Where were you actually then? It's all coded, sir, in DNA. Who coded it? DNA by itself coded itself? There has to be some reasoning, no? Why that DNA coded itself as this DNA and that DNA, but essentially all DNAs are all same. All of us have got the same DNA, sir. As we go finer and finer, it gets more and more complex. Clarity doesn't come. Where were you? Were you standing somewhere separate? The body is created and you entered the body. Or you have to shelve this entire theory and go to the other side. Other side of the possibility is what? Sir, this is the body creation process. What you're talking about is. You're talking about how the car is manufactured. I am discussing about the driver who has occupied the car and moving the car. Is the driver and the car one and the same? Similarly, body and the self one and the same. I mean the jiva, individual, not Brahman. You. Whatever you consider yourself to be, you consider yourself to be a person, right? Right? If you believe yourself to be an individual, this individual, is he the combination of sperm and egg, or sperm and egg created the body? I am the one who has occupied the body, which is a stronger theory. This is how we study here. So he says Deha itself means what? Something designed to be burnt. Deha. Dahati. It is designed for burning. Also, it has another meaning. Deha. Deha also means applying, smearing. You apply, no? Vibhuti. You apply, right? That's also called Deha. So Deha has two meanings. Deha Samudbhava. So Udbhava, how this body is created. He says, body has been applied over me. That's all. Why this application? Because of my gunas. The gunas that I have entertained, that guna demanded this sort of a body. Therefore, this body got applied over. And what is the nature of this body? Body's independent nature is it will get burnt. Designed to be burnt. The very purpose The nature of the body is to be burnt. You simply burn it. That's why we keep applying bhuti. We apply that on this body for what? For what? Reminding not you, anyone who sees you. This is social service. Applying vibhuti is social service. I can't see my forehead, no. You only see. So when you apply, anyone who sees you sees what first? Then what is it, sir? Reminder what? One day, this body is going to become like that. Same is the case with your body also. It's a reminder, that's all. So this deha sabudbhava, udbhava for the source, arising from where? Then we go through the analysis. This is arising from where? Why did you get this body? This body you have got to experience certain punya papa, which you have acquired. How did you get this punya papa to your account? By your own karma. Your karma creates punya papa. That punya papa needs to be experienced. To experience that punya papa, you need that sort of a body, isn't it? Otherwise, how will you experience it? Human body is capable of, certain punishments they give. 1,300 years imprisonment. Have you read? Judgments are there. How can you put a fellow imprisonment for 1,300? Who will live for 1,300 years? First of all, the jail will not be there. 1,300 years. How is it possible? Why? Because that many cases were there on this fellow. At best, what you can do? There's one fellow who murdered one. There's another fellow who had murdered 5,000. Correct? Both the fellows hanged till death. Highest punishment you can give is what? Hanged till death. So, the one who kills one person is also hanged till death. The one who kills 5,000 also hanged till death. Only one death, no, for both. So how can taking one life, 5,000 lives, can it be the same? It's not possible. So how can you kill that fellow 5,000 times? It's not possible. So it needs to be given a particular body. Even when you are physically also, you can withstand X amount of pain. Beyond a point of pain, your brain automatically disconnects. You don't have to put in any special effort for that. So a person has committed such a heinous crime. I'm not going into the details of crimes nowadays, because nowadays you have to explain crime in such descriptive manner. Only then you people realize. Otherwise, you don't even understand what is a crime. Has to be very descriptive nowadays. Visually, it has to be presented to you. Look at the movies. You can know. The villain needs to be presented as what? Huh? Forget about villain, hero. The villainy has to be, and even this fellow killing them also, killing a villain also has to be done how? It has to be, you have to actually see it. You see, only then you get that joy. Otherwise, you don't get it nowadays. You got so used to it nowadays. That's why, very difficult nowadays to teach, I tell you. Earlier, we used to give simple examples. It's easy for you to relate to a deer, or from a tiger. I give an example. Survival, sir. You don't go near a tiger. You know why you don't go near? Survival instinct. Cockroach, you run. Survival instinct. I have to speak like, like a debater. Can't teach nowadays. It's so difficult. Not because you people have become intelligent. If you have become intelligent, it will be easier to teach. Difficulty of teaching. Nowadays, no teaching is happening. Why? Not because you guys have become intelligent. The public has become so gross. The proof is the movies. The movie has to be like what? You have to show visually. Shankarabharanam, rape scene will be what? Standard practice. Lovers are kissing each other. What is the show? 2 flowers will come. Ping. That's all. Solved. That generation could understand what is happening. Now, if you show flowers, what do you think? Boring movie. Do you realize you will not see a single series? Nowadays, it's not, movies now, series. There has to be a character of a woman who has to be smoking. You will not find a single series where there is no character of a woman, no smoking. There's no necessity for you to show. Invariably, the hero has to be a one who is a drug addict, useless fellow, but he is the most intelligent guy. In the verge of committing suicide. He is depressed. It is so sad to see the condition of humanity. That much is happening inside. It's only what is happening in your mind. Remember, don't think when I say this, I'm not talking about somebody's mind. I'm saying it's happening to you. Dangerous position. You're not realizing that. It has to be so descriptive nowadays. They say somebody does a gruesome action. Can this body withstand that punishment that can be given to that person? It is not possible. In human, it is not possible. So therefore, what is needed? Same way, someone who has done such an extraordinary service, sacrifice, needs to be rewarded. What reward you can give to that person? You want to reward someone. What reward will you give? Nobel Prize? You erect a statue. You erect a statue and put a garland to the statue. What of it to that fellow? Ambedkar and Gandhi and all these people are gone already. Right? Today on their birthday, you put their thing on that day, you put this one, you do so much of puja to that. What of it to that fellow? For their service, the rewards cannot be given on to some stone in their name. This is not going to be. Then how are you going to reward someone who has done extraordinary service? That reward needs to be given as what? As an actual experience for that person. So they need to be given something which is of a higher quality, correct? How can you give that ordinary one, local? It cannot be. They deserve to be provided something which is superior, and what best can be given to them, experienced by them through human embodiment. Needs a different type of body. Whether you do gross action or you perform subtle action, either case you demand a different body. On what basis? The premise is any experience you have is possible only through the body. Minus body experiences will not be treated as experienced by you. Don't say out of body experience, na real experiences. Out of body experiences, all of us have. Dream. Be happy, no. Yesterday night I had a fantastic dream, sir. I was driving this Rolls Royce Ghost. Phantom. One for me, one for my wife. Be happy, no. The moment you wake up, you say what? Whose dream was that? Whose experience was that? Your own experience, no. Which experience we are willing to accept as a valid experience? Only those experiences where we are having a body. Without a body, physical body, an experience is not considered by you as experience. It's not valid. Forget about me validating your experience. Do you validate your experience is the point here. Then we need to inquire what has to be the basis for you to be given that body. So to go through an experience, you need a body. And on what basis you will be taking a body? What type of experiences you have to go through? Who decides that? Because depending upon what type of experience, only body will be taken into account. Illa? Depends on what job I am going to do. I dress myself, no? An army officer is not going to be in the army dress 24/7. The same army officer were to do cooking in his house, how he will do? The same army officer goes to his office, how he will go? The same army officer goes to a battlefront, how he will go? He'll dress himself varied, no? Correct? Depends on what he is going to do. The dress varies, but the person is same. The same army officer is the one who is cooking. The cook is the same person. The one who is going to office is the same person. The one who is going to the battlefront is the same person. But the dressing varies. Similarly, depending upon the experience, the body will be assumed. So we ask the question, what defines that experience? How you create a demand for that experience? What is experience? Only two experiences, Sukha, Dukkha. That's all. There's nothing else here. Every experience is classified only as two aspects. One is Sukha, another one is Dukkha. Pleasure, pain. Every experience you are going through is the scale of measurement is what? Pleasure, pain. Every experience you experience it as pleasure and pain only. There's no other experience. That movie is a pleasure for one person, pain for another person. Movie is the same. Right. So one person sees that as such a pleasure, such a joy. Another person sees the same thing as a pain. So you go through experience. Why is it that you have this experience as painful? Why that is having as pleasure? So all experiences we bracket only as pleasure, pain, Sukha, Dukkha. So to experience X amount of Sukha, Dukkha, you take up a particular body, because otherwise you never feel that experience as a complete, valid experience. So you have taken this body. Why? To experience. Why you have to experience it? What experience you have to go through? Sukha, Dukkha. On what basis? From here onwards, philosophy starts. Now here there is no logic now. From here it becomes adrishta. Now there is no inference. Anumana pramana won't work now. Anubhava pramana will not work now. What will work now is only Shabda pramana. There is nothing else. The basis is punya and papa. Every sukha that you are experiencing, every dukkha that you are experiencing is because of your punya papa. How did you acquire that punya papa? Is the consequence of your karma. Why did you perform that particular karma in that particular way? By your own desires. This you can understand. Adrishta bala you cannot understand. But every karma produces the result that you can understand. Which aspect? Drishta bala it perform, it gives. That is very clear. But the karma also gives adrishta bala. Drishta bala perceptible, known. Adrishta imperceptible, unknown. Then what drives your karma? Here you can apply Anubhava and Anumana Pramana. You don't have to rely only on of the Pramana. Remember, every step we take one as a reference point. Wherever we can go by Pratyaksha, Anubhava, Anumana, we can clearly see what that Shabda Pramana says in alignment with that. No Pratyaksha, no Anubhava, no Anumana Pramana conclusions come in contradiction with what Shabda has said. What the scriptures claim. Wherever I am able to verify, I am able to verify that and say it is the same thing, correct? My Anubhava goes along with what Shabda says. My Anumana goes along with what Shabda says. Suddenly, in certain areas where neither my Anubhava nor my Anumana is coming and supporting what Shabda says. In those areas, what are you going to do? Is the question. Follow. As long as it is going along with your Anubhava or Pratyaksha, or what generally we use the word. I'm just, for Raimi purpose, I'm using the word. Anubhava, Anumana, though both starts with A. Because nowadays it all has to be, very rhymey. Meaning it doesn't make any difference. As long as it is rhymey, take it. Pratyaksha is what we call as Anubhava Pramana. Our experientially we can see certain things. So whatever we are experientially seeing is in alignment with what the Shabda says, what the scriptures say. Also, what I'm able to infer and come to conclusion comes along with that. But suddenly, Shabda goes into a dimension where neither my Anubhava can do nor my Anumana can do. In those areas, what are you going to do? That's where the whole world divides. Entire division is only at this point. So one group of people say, even though I am not able to verify what Shabda Pramana says, through my Anubhava or Anumana Pramana, it must be correct. One group. Even though I am not able to verify using this. But wherever I am able to verify, it is concurring to what Shabda says. There is no contradiction. Right? Anubhava and Anumana never contradicts this one, but certain dimensions when it goes, it just goes off completely. Now what are you going to do? One group of people say, I am willing to give the benefit of doubt to Shabda Pramana and accept it as correct. Another group of people say, I am not willing to give the benefit of doubt to that, it must be wrong. So I am willing to subscribe to the ideas presented by the Shabda, by the scriptures, so long as it is in alignment with this. Alignment with Anubhava and Anumana. If it is not coming in alignment, I discard Shabda. This is one stance. To which we give a counter. Right? What is the counter we give here? First of all, you taking the statements given by the Shabda Pramana as correct based on your conclusions of Anumana Pramana itself is wrong. Even if you agree. Why? Because my Anumana conclusions also says the same thing. My Anubhava also says the same thing. And the Shabda also says the same thing. Therefore, I am saying yes to Shabda Pramana. You say you have not understood Pramana only first of all. You are not having a elementary knowledge about Pramanas. What is the elementary knowledge of Pramana? Something you take as Pramana only when it reveals a specific knowledge which cannot be revealed by any other means. Only then it becomes a pramana for that. Repeat. Pramana means a means of knowledge. You can say this is the valid means of knowledge only when it reveals something which cannot be revealed by any other. Correct. Only then you can call that as a pramana for this. Otherwise, you cannot say this is pramana for this. Example I'll give, then it will be easy. To understand the color, what is a pramana? What is a pramana to know the color? Eyes. Correct? Any doubts? Why are you saying eye is the pramana for that? Because you cannot know the color of an object by touching it. A form also can be recognized to some extent by touching it. Can you lick it and find out the color? Can you put it in your ears and find out? We are having 5 sources: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. A color of an object can never be found by the other 4. The only source for color is eyes. Depending upon the strength and the constitution of the eye, what color you will see will vary. Remember, a human eye cannot see ultraviolet. A bee eye is designed to see ultraviolet. I'm not talking about which color you will see. Can you see all the color possibilities in the world? I'm not talking about that. Any color you want to see, the only source is what? Eye is the only source. Only then you can call eye is the pramana for color. Otherwise, how can you call it as pramana? Is this clear at least? Yes.
If light doesn't fall on that object, then how can we see?
Object has to be there. Adella understood pa. Example. This is what exactly I was telling 10 minutes before. You think I'm dumb? I don't know. If light is there, if you are blind, who told you need light to see color? Who told you that? What intensity of light? What intensity of light you will say as light? Which intensity of light? Light has free frequencies, right? Which intensity of light you are going to call it as light? Candlelight, moonlight, sunlight, floodlight, white light, yellow light. Which light? Light will not give. Light is understood, that is. When there is light only you will see. Otherwise you cannot see. But then color recognition, to recognize which color, you see an object. But what is the color of that object? Defined by who? Who decides that? Your eye alone will say, this is the color. Is that clear at least? How do you recognize sound? Through your eyes you will recognize sound. I'll change the example then. Change the example. If you can't understand eye, take the example of taste. I cut your tongue. Can you recognize taste? Through my eye, I will say the taste of it. Your eye will say, Modaka is what? Modaka you have seen? What is the taste of Modaka? Look at it and tell me. You should not put in your mouth. How will you recognize? Sound you will hear. Can your eye tell you what is the sound? But sir, in the music notes, you say the sound, no? They write, right? Music notes are written, no? Sound is actually written there. Absurdity. This is the problem of so-called intelligence. Beware. Like I said, simple examples, you people have lost it completely. We need to invent examples which are so gross. I have to give such a gross examples. Only then you will keep quiet. Otherwise, you will not keep quiet. Staggering to see the deterioration of humanity. In this last, 30 years I am seeing is where after I started teaching, not when I started studying. Even 40 years then. 30 years. Amazing. I think you're brilliant. Light is needed now. I'll change the example. What will you do now? What I can reveal, only I can reveal. Only then I can be called as a pramana. Otherwise, I cannot be called as a pramana for color. How will you know? That which gives you knowledge is called a pramana. Meaning of the word pramana. That which causes prama. Brahma understood this right knowledge. That jnana also doesn't give right knowledge. Jnana gives only knowledge. You see, that is why jnana needs to be qualified many times. Prajnanam has to be given. Only then it is complete. But prama is not that. Prama is right knowledge. How do you get it? By applying a particular method. What is going to be the means to gain that prama? Knowledge is called pramana. Right? Now comes the second point. Second dimension is what is revealed by one pramana can neither be validated or invalidated by another pramana. When the eye says this is blue color, my tongue cannot come and say, yeah, correct. My tongue also says, sir, it is blue color. Therefore, I am agreeing it is blue color. Imagine if someone says that. What do you call him? My eye is saying this is blue color. My ear is also saying it is blue color. Therefore, the statement made by the eye that it is blue color is correct. What do you call it? Is the same thing we call a fellow who says what the Shabda Pramana says is in alignment with what my Anumana says. Therefore, Shabda is correct. I am accepting. It's an absurd statement. That that pramana should be taken as independent valid means, full stop. Can neither be validated nor invalidated. No, my ear says it is green color. Therefore, what? Therefore, there is a conflict. What is a conflict? My eye says this is blue color. My ear is saying this is green color. Now there is a conflict. Therefore, what I'm going to do? I'm discounting what the eye says. I'm going to take what my ear says. That means you have not understood what is a pramana for what. See, anything which is adrishta, the only source we have is Shabda Pramana. Drishta, you use other means. We don't require scripture for that. For Drishta, you don't require any scriptural things. You don't require Vedas to come and tell you when you are hungry, eat. When you are sleepy, sleep. When you are thirsty, drink. You don't require to be told. You see, there's no necessity for you to be told. All these things will happen independent of that. So you do require certain dimensions where in Adrishta. What made this body to come into existence is Punya Papa is the reason for this embodiment. Can never be validated by Anumana nor invalidated by Anumana Pramana. Not possible. Pratyaksha, not possible. All other 9 means of knowledges are there. There are about 10 means of knowledges. Valid means. 10 pramanas are there. To know different things. You see, to apply each one, you have to apply only that one. All those things we are just putting. All other things. All other 8, I am clubbing and calling it as Anumana. 1. And Anubhava Pramana is Pratyaksha. Even though Anubhava Pramana is not Pratyaksha, strictly speaking. As I said, casually I said, just for any purpose I said. So the essential means of knowledges were many. You see, the one who is willing to give in the starting point, it is difficult for you to drop all these things. So we say what? Start with the dimensions wherever this conclusions and anubhavas of yours and see what the scripture says goes parallel. Correct. Wherever you have this attachment, there is rupture, there is pain. Anywhere you are selfish, you will be agitated, disturbed. Unselfish will never be disturbed. Your Anubhava will tell you that. Get attached and you will know. Become unselfish, you will know. Automatic that is. You don't have to put in any special effort for that. See, specific words. So we say, what is the source of this body? Why you have taken this body? This body was taken for the purpose of what? The purpose of experiencing punya and papa. Your pleasure, pain, joy, sorrow. This sukha dukkha to be experienced. Why you have to experience sukha dukkha? Because of your punya papa. In this embodiment you have to. And in our life we have got not only Sukha portion, we have a mixed. So what is happening? Sukha comes, Dukkha comes. Sukha comes, Dukkha comes. Sukha, Dukkha, both are happening. But if you see both doesn't go beyond certain frequency. The joy experienced by one body is not the same joy experienced by the other body. One body experiences pain in one way, another body experiences pain in another way. You see, body itself has its dynamics. In Japan, the tallest person will be what? Oh, they are very tall. Kritika will be treated tall there. Manjunathana will be like, the Honda cars you see, it's low. Why? In Japan, if he has to put type now, he has to raise his leg and then enter. Not possible. Africa, you go. Australia, you go. The entire structure is different. What that body can do, only that body can do. What this body can do, only this body can do. You cannot go beyond. There is a potential possibility. You cannot go beyond. So you go through that experience. From where that comes, who had added that much punya to your account, this much of papa to your account? Don't say some third party. Don't say grahas. Shani Bhagavan has decided. He doesn't decide. Rahu Ketu doesn't decide. They just execute. Then who's a decider? Who decides? You decided. How did you decide, sir? By your own action. Actions means what? Kaika, Vachika, Manasa. 3 levels of action. Right. Body, speech, thoughts. Through thoughts you perform actions, through speech you perform actions, through body you perform actions, doing things. All 3 you do. And all these 3 has a specific quality in it. So depending upon the quality of your bodily action, speech action, thoughts action, depending upon that quality, the effect is. Based on that effect, punya papa, body is. Experience is demanded. That experience to go through, you need a body. So therefore, who decides the whole thing? Quality of your actions. Quality is only decides. That's why he calls this 3 gunas to be the Deha Samudbhava. How can you qualify body to be the source? The body source is the gunas. This is the logic. You get it? Therefore, exhausting the qualities, no sattvic action, rajasic action, tamasic action. Sattvic speech, rajasic speech, tamasic speech. Sattvic thought, rajasic thought, tamasic thought. When you are not having any one of this, what will happen? You go to the next stage. You transcend. The transcendence is what is referred here as this guna atita. So such a person, he says, is freed from birth, death, old age, and pain. Is transcending all this. Is free from birth, is free from death, is free from old age. All the dukkha possibilities. All this changes keeps happening in him. That's all it means. Birth, death to old age, all this is what? All this is dukkha arising from birth, dukkha arising from death, dukkha arising from old age. As local. You don't require Bhagavad Gita for that. You are with me. Old age dukkha. So much of problems are old age. You don't require Bhagavad Gita to say that. That's a different one. This the changes produces pain. This natural changes. Birth, growth, disease, decay, death. This metamorphic changes causes pain. Can you arrest the metamorphic changes? Not possible. It will happen. You cannot arrest it. It will happen. And if something which is natural, how can that cause pain? Something which is natural. Something which is naturally happening cannot be causing pain, no, by itself. It doesn't cause pain by itself. Then what causes pain? What is the source of pain then? He says this dukkha comes. Dukkha cannot be from natural things. These are all nature. Now, how can you say nature itself is pain then? Then you are not realizing what is life is. Then it will lead to what? Pessimistic philosophy. Then it is pessimism. If you sustain pessimism for a period of time, you become cynical. Finally, you will become a cynical person. You don't become philosophical. You don't become a sage. You don't require gunatita. What will you become? You will become a cynical fellow, frustrated. From where it is coming then? It's coming from you. Because you are experiencing dukkha over something which is naturally happening. Automatic, that is. When something is happening naturally, why do you feel dukkha about it? That's the best part in this text. See, reflection. That's reflect on. Of course, not that you should not reflect on other things. What is interesting is these things. This is how you think. Say, correct, sir. This is only three things he says here: birth, death, old age. They say include other two also. Disease and this one, growth. Growth, disease. He is maybe in the list he forgot. Right? You don't know why he missed out on all that. Understood is what? These three. All these three are natural. When something which is happening, the changes. Change is the law of nature. Change or perish is the law of nature. If you say this is equal to change, right? Birth, old age, death is equal to change, and change is equal to nature, and change is giving pain. That means nature gives pain. You see, they're not there. You'll get caught. See, prima facie, when you read these things, you'll miss it. You'll say, correct, no. Correct, sir. Birth is a painful one, sir. For whom? Old age, correct, sir. Old age pain, sir. Back pain comes, neck pain comes, and nobody talks in the house. You know, even for this, you have to be dependent. Very painful. I keep forgetting things also. Death, not to talk about. Scary one. If these things is equal to change, and change is nature, what Krishna says is nature gives pain. Nature will not give pain. Then from where the pain comes? It comes from you. In you, from where? Kidney, liver, brain, mind. In mind where? Locate பண்ணுங்க. I'll give you 1 week. Next week reminder. Next question can ask. One question, one class. Over. Right. Question that he says. Because he says, completely freed from birth, death, old age, and pain arising from the body. So pain arising from the body, birth, this, all this. That's an equation, remember. All this is equal to change. Change is nature. Therefore, can nature give you pain? If you say yes, then no possibility of immortality. How can you get out of nature? Nature, you can't get out, no. You can get out of this hall. You can get out of Bangalore. You can get out of Karnataka. You can get out of India. You can get out of Earth. But where will you go? You'll go to Mars. You'll go to Venus. You'll go to Moon. You'll go to Sun. You'll go to next star. P47, sir. You'll go and sit there. You can go and sit anywhere. Doesn't make. You cannot escape nature, which means liberation becomes impossible. So liberation needs to be possible. That's what he says, no, attains immortality. He has escaped, which means it's not nature, but nature is changes gives pain. Source what? Unless you pinpoint the source, you will never be able to identify the escape route. Right? Once I give the answer, that's all they said. Always be like that. See, the friend Ramas used to tell, all this, we'll solve this quiz and all will go. Ramaswamy used to say, they only two questions they ask. He used to go. I've never been. He used to attend those things and all that. So he'll look at and say, only 2 questions they will ask. Say, no. Easy question, tough question. Ask, how, any question to which you know answer easy. Any question to which you don't know answer is a tough question. It's no big difficulty. Like that it is. If you know answer, it's very simple. If you don't know answer, it's very complex. You, from where in you? You'll see next class. There's a program they're having today. That's why I'm closing early.